let's get on board our guest now on the US government shutdown, the looming shutdown that we are penciling in. Arvind Chari, who's the Chief Investment Strategist, Q India, who's joining us. Hi, Arvind. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us. For the first time in 6 years, there is a fear of the US government shutdown that's been looming. Talk to us about the fact that now that the US markets are hovering around record highs, and with this entire tariff, tussle that's been going on, what does the US government shutdown really imply?
Hi, Snehi and Ankita. Thank you for having me. It is one of those annoying things about investing in the US, in the sense that, unlike in any other countries, there is always these two aspects: a US government shutdown because of an expenditure cut, or the debt ceiling. And we keep hearing this over a period of time. And maybe it just brings in some amount of near-term volatility and uncertainty in terms of what's going to happen. It is not a common thing which is found in many other countries. So this is just something which becomes a big unique thing for the US time and again. As you said, we had the last government shutdown about 6 years ago. The other way to think about it is one of those checks and balances that people talk about, right? So the US Congress, despite whichever party is in government, the US Congress authorizes spending and debt limits, and hence there is a checks and balance in terms of what can be done. What a particular government, can they do what they want to do, or is it there is checks and balances within the political executives decision making, which ensures that some of this, that there is always a give and take in terms of how the parties react to it. And if they're not able to do that, and they're not able to arrive at a consensus, then you go into a period like this where there's a shutdown. So this is of course different from the debt ceiling. The debt ceiling has an implication on bond market and on treasuries, and the overall question of default. I think the debt ceiling, they reach a situation before where they increase the debt limit. This is completely on to the spending part of it, but yes, it just creates a sense of uncertainty and volatility in terms of in investors' minds.
Arvind, taking that point ahead, I just want to understand the implication of this shutdown, because no, this is not new. This is something that we had seen in Biden's term as well, but they were able to successfully avoid something like this. Now, on one hand, you have the entire tariff threat that's looming on the entire world from US. On the other, you have Trump's own party that has, some of them have voted against the stopgap wage bill. So what is your take on that, and what kind of confidence does this reflect in the global view when it comes to US and US leadership?
Yeah, in terms of spending, it looks like there is an impasse, and they have not been able to do it. I was just reading some previous ones where it has they reached a agreement within a few hours, and the last one during Trump's administration was almost like 35 days of spending freeze. And the way it works is like, it looks like most will be on government salaries and wages and non-essential government services. So if it continues for a long period of time, you should expect that there will be some weakness in the economy, because people will not get their salaries, or people will not get some government contracts which they were supposed to get, and then there is an expenditure freeze till the time they reach a consensus. So yeah, as I said again, that there is